Thank you, Michael, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yaxin, and it's such an honor today for me to be sharing the stage with my brilliant colleagues and mentors who will be presenting their beautiful projects in a bit. But for the next 20 minutes, allow me to first take you on a journey to Kunming Changshui. Let's begin with something simple, something you almost didn't notice. If you look under a chair, if you're lucky, you'll find a small bouquet. Let's see who is the lucky one. Look under a chair, just quickly. All right, there it is. Guoping, you're the lucky one. Cut just yesterday in Yunnan, China's mountainous province where the clouds touch your orchids and where 14 billion stems of flowers a year start their journey around the world. These flowers pass through Kunming Changshui International Airport, one of Asia's highest, busiest, and greenest aviation hubs. Thanks to the state-of-the-art coach and air cargo services, these flowers reach over 140 cities within 24 hours. More importantly, this makes a place like Yunnan landlocked, remote, suddenly visible. This is what modern infrastructure can do: make the perishable timeless and make the remote visible. Thank you. This is Kunming Changshui, 2,100 above the sea level, 47 million passengers a year. A marvel of engineering, not built for altitude, built for ambition. When it opened in 2012, it was designed as a regional hub to serve the West-Southwest Gate as China's Southwest Gateway, and it delivered. By 2023, more than 50 million passengers flies to 300 cities, a triumph. But success had a cost. Terminals overflowing, systems straining, but the passenger traffic not slowing down, projected to be double by 2035, and that number is more than the combined population of 5 Central Asia in total. It was clear something had to be changed. But the question was not whether to expand, it was how. Most airports under pressure, they default to the old playbook: more gates, longer runways, bigger footprints. But Kunming refused to autopilot growth, and they asked, is that the right way to grow? And that question, that single shift, changed everything. And that is when Yunnan Airport Group turned to AIIB. And now let me be clear, they didn't just come for financing, they had options, plenty of them. What they want was a partner, someone who could help them reimagine growth. Not as a race for biggest or busiest, but as a chance to become something rare, a smarter connector, a new node in a new global kind of network. Kunming's location is remarkable. Its 5-hour aviation circle covers more than half of the world's population and Asia's fastest growing economies. The Mekong's dynamism, the Bay of Bengal's promise, the Great Bay Area's engine. It was never just an airport serving a city. It was anchoring a continent's future. And we saw the potential instantly. A highland city, yes, remote, but perfectly placed to become the new bridge in the sky between Asia's rising markets. And that's how this turned an infrastructure expansion into something so much bigger. A way to embed sometimes we call it a global DNA, an idea that infrastructure does not just connect places, it connects people, it connects possibility. Now the scale was massive. $10 billion was the cost of the total expansion. And AIIB financing, $500 million, just 5%. But here's the secret. In transformation, influence is not measured in dollars, it's measured in vision. That 5% was not a footnote. It was our foothold, our invitation to ask the right questions. What if an airport didn't just grow, but evolve? What if it just didn't serve more passengers, but served them differently? With that 5%, we got the chance to punch far above our weight, redirecting billions of dollars into greener growth and turn efficiency into the core currency. We didn't just fund an airport, we funded a mindset. From building for volume to building for value. From physical expansion to systematic decarbonization. From reacting to growth to shaping what growth could look like. So what exactly did we and Kunming do differently? Let's start with something simple. Something so rare in airports, and it almost sounds impossible. What if an airport can breathe? At Kunming Changshui, it does. At Terminal 1, you can open the windows. Maximized natural ventilation cuts AC energy in summertime by 28%. With smart shading and maximized daylight, it cuts another 8% more. No industrial chillers running full blast 24/7, just the mountain air breeze doing its job. That's what happened when you design with climate, not against it. In a city known as the Spring City, with clean air, steady temperature, and plenty of Himalaya sunshine, this design is not just poetic, it is powerful. And now look up, rooftop, solar panels, standard now for the rooftop areas, generating thousands of megawatt hours a year, enough to power hundreds of homes for a month. Especially in Yunnan, where more than 80% of the grid already comes from renewable and hydropower, the cleaner the system runs, the greener it stays. An energy system that runs all AI-powered, the system adapts, learns, and responds, adjusting ventilation, lighting, operating systems based on real-time needs. Now let's move from the sky to the ground. This is something most of the passengers wouldn't even notice, but the tech team absolutely love. We built smart runway. Embedded beneath the surface are pressure sensors, tiny pieces of sensors that constantly monitoring the surface. If the ground shift, if there's a crack forming, if the pressure's off after landing, the system knows. And that means runways actively protect every landing. Maintenance happens before problems rise. And resources spent on tomorrow's innovation instead of yesterday's repair. It's a small thing, but it keeps everything else running. Now pair that with efficient airplane taxiing. We work with the Yunnan Airport Group to review their flight path program that regulate airplanes during takeoff, landing, and taxiing. Turns out, by optimizing just 60 seconds, it cuts almost 40 kilograms of CO2 emissions. That's like planting 2 trees per flight and saves on average 10 kilograms of fuels, just enough to power a taxi drive from here to Daxing Airport and back. It's a triple win. More efficient for the airlines, cleaner for the city, and quieter for the neighborhood. You see, most of the revolutions are hidden, and there's more. Behind the circular design principles, there is repurposing construction materials, recycling water and waste at scale. For example, almost 100% of the rainwater collected are reused for toilets and landscaping. The deeper mindset behind this is that every part of an airport have a second life. And then there is the engineering moonshoot. This part gets a little technical, but stick with me because it's actually really cool. To build safer and faster on highland terrain, they use something called an asphalt macadam base layer. Imagine a giant geological sponge-like runway that drains water 3 times quicker, self-convex better, and responds to seismic waves like a shock absorber. These are not flash tech features, but these are deeply thoughtful system choices. that make the airport safer, cleaner, greener, and more future-ready. So we've seen what happened, changed inside the Kunming Airport, the energy system, the flight procedures, efficient taxiing, and design breakthroughs. And the real story, it goes far beyond an airport. Kunming's transformation is not just about the movement of people and goods. It's about a momentum, about how one airport is now sending ripples through the entire system. And let me show you what I mean. Let's go back to something simple at the beginning you've seen, flowers. Yunnan produced billions of stems flowers a year, but without air cargo and cold chain services, almost a third of them wilted before they ever reached the market. Today, fresh orchids from Kunming land in 146 cities within 24 hours. Export revenue soar more than $80 million a year. This is not just a flower supply chain. It is a prosperity chain. Behind every flower, there's a farmer, a logistic worker, a cold chain technician, and a business owner. Jobs, real and local jobs across the value chain. And while flowers are a great example, they're just the start. This hub now supports anything that spoils fast and transport fast. From mushroom to biotech, Yunnan is becoming the next generation transit hub. With wings and rails, it is now feeding inland China's appetite for freshness, linking South Asia and Southeast Asia rising markets, and bridging European shelves in record time. This is the future of connectivity, where geography bends to shared prosperity, and smarter movements become common growth for all. This is a prosperity chain. It is also a chain of hope. Yunnan's mountain once isolated villages. Ethnic artisans are now sending their crafts to Paris runways. Poverty once trapped generations. Farmers now trade globally using their smartphones. And where women were once excluded, thanks to AIIB Gender Action Plan, they now operate the site smart system, manage construction safety team, and shape community benefit programs. And we saw this firsthand. The mothers in our construction supervision camps, the daughters joining technician training programs, and the grandmothers advising on stakeholder engagement plan were often women from nearby towns. This is how we build connectivity with a heartbeat, through infrastructure that intentionally lifts up every hand that builds it. And more profound impact, this became a catalyst of change. The project revealed how better process can rewrite rules, not through flashy innovations, but in quiet revolutions, like procurement reform. We introduced one-stage, two-envelope, criteria-based international competitive open tendering, an approach that approves competition drives better value, openness ensures fairness, and framework standards creates accountability. What surprised us was not the adoption, it was the organic replication. Yunnan Airport Group adopt the same principles in their own tenderings, not financed by AIIB. And more significantly, China Aviation Authority started reviewing national procurement policies using these principles. This is how real transformation spreads. When better practices prove their worth, they stop being AIIB requirements and become the new common sense. And this is what exactly we hoped for. A project outgrows its funding, a model that rewrites the manual. Like the pebbles creating ever-winding circles, these changes rippled across Yunnan Airport Group's portfolio, 15 airports from Dali to Lijiang, from Xishuangbanna to Pu'er. Designs are being reviewed with fresh lenses. Procurement processes are being updated. decarbonization metrics are being embedded at the planning stage instead of the reporting stage. And here's the truth. The real measure of an airport is not just how many people it moves, it is how many lives it changes. When we build this bridge in the sky, we create inseparable chains of prosperity, hope, and catalyst. Truthfully, I never expect an airport project would lead me to discuss about orchids, smart runways, and procurement all at once. But Kunming is that rare project where every concrete we pour planted a seed of change. We were not the biggest financier, but we became the most persistent catalyst, linking global expertise with local vision, turning how we've always done it into how we could do it better. Showing infrastructure's real power is not just in moving people, but in reviewing potential. And the proof is in the quiet details. When an airport group voluntarily adopts greener standards, when national policymakers revisit old frameworks, when that flower in your hand arrives fresher, cheaper, and faster. So next time when you are in an airport, look beyond the departure boards, see the hidden connections. Every flight carries jobs created, community empowered, and ideas taking wing. This is why I believe in what we do. At AIIB, we do not just finance infrastructure. We build springboards for ambition, multipliers of hope. Kunming is just the beginning, and it's also our proof. Thank you very much. And today we have our full team led by Mr. Wei Anzheng, the PTL here, and thank you very much for your time.
Kunming is my hometown, so I thank you very much for your great work. Because I don't know where you're from, but maybe from Yunnan. But I'm happy that AIIB has done great work for the Kunming Airport. This is just a comment, not a question. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May I ask you to introduce yourself briefly so we know where you're from?
Mr. Yang, please introduce yourself quickly.
The Scorpion from Hauko Chongqing. Kunming is my hometown. So,
Thank you very much.
So very dear presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Natalia, please.
Thank you very much, Natalia Sanz from AIIB. Excellent presentation, really inspiring. But it's very interesting to see that an airport can be green. And that's one of the main challenges that we have when we are working with MDBs and different countries and our board and many stakeholders that are considering this. So I would like to know if you have been able to extend these lessons learned to some other airports, some other regions in China or in some other countries we are working with. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. If I may invite Anzheng to share your thoughts. I felt I've talked much enough, and this is really the collective efforts of every single member in the team.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Yaxin. I think you really did a very good job. Only your presentation can compare with this excellent project. And my name is Anzheng. I'm from AIIB. I'm project team leader. Work together with Yaxin and all the colleagues for this great project. And thanks for the question from Natalia. And exactly, we fully agree. Actually, the team faced the challenges when we're preparing this project. The majority of the challenges coming from how do you develop the airport to a green airport. And we had make a lot of efforts. I can list two of them. We have engaged the Singapore Changshui Airport as our consultant to really work together with Kunming Airport to review the benchmark with international standards and framework to find the gaps and come out with the action plans incorporated into the project. Secondly, we also carry out some knowledge sharing with our board members. We have carried out 2 knowledge sharing sessions within 12 months' time to to our board. And we invite all the leaders from this industry, including the Airbus, including the airport airlines, and to share their different experience and perspectives to how to spend joint efforts to build a green airport. And going forward, of course, I think at least two things we can do. One is that we are trying to accumulate or convert what we have learned from this project to the other project AIIB is going to financing. So secondly, we also very actively, proactively to collaborate with other MDBs. We already shared our experience with NDB, and NDB invested the Taiyuan airport, which is also an airport highlighted with green after this one. So Yaxin has joined one of their consultation and shared our experience in Kunming. And also, next step, we plan to collaborate with both ADB and World Bank and maybe other MDBs to share our experience and also to find a joint MDB approach to how to allow us to finance a sustainable and green airport. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.